The most famous woman in ancient history was not Egyptian, was not primarily known for her looks in her own lifetime, and was deliberately rewritten by the men who defeated her. As you consider the life of Cleopatra VII, remember that she was a member of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BCE, and was herself a direct descendant of Ptolemy I Soter, one of Alexander's most trusted generals. Can you imagine being a woman in a world where your family's legacy was built on conquest and power, and how that would shape your worldview? In the decades leading up to Cleopatra's reign, the Ptolemaic dynasty was marked by internal power struggles and external pressures, with the Roman Empire expanding its territories and influence under the leadership of men like Julius Caesar, who crossed the Rubicon River with his legions in 49 BCE, sparking a civil war that would change the course of Roman history. By 48 BCE, Caesar had emerged victorious and was appointed dictator of Rome, a position that would ultimately lead to his downfall, as you will see. The Ptolemaic kingdom, meanwhile, was a center of learning and culture, with the Great Library of Alexandria, founded during the reign of Ptolemy I, attracting scholars like Archimedes, who calculated the value of pi to be between 3 and 1/7 and 3 and 10/71. As you explore this world, ask yourself, what role do you think the pursuit of knowledge played in shaping the politics of the time? Cleopatra VII ascended to the throne in 51 BCE, following the death of her father, Ptolemy XII, and quickly proved herself to be a skilled diplomat and strategist, able to speak 9 languages, including Egyptian, which she was the first of her dynasty to learn, as evidenced by her decrees and correspondence, which have been discovered by archaeologists. In 48 BCE, she met Julius Caesar, who had arrived in Alexandria in pursuit of his rival, Pompey, and the two formed an alliance that would last until Caesar's assassination in 44 BCE, when he was stabbed 23 times by a group of senators, including Brutus and Cassius. Can you think of a more dramatic turn of events, as the most powerful man in Rome was brought down by his own peers? Cleopatra then formed a relationship with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's most powerful generals, with whom she had 3 children, including twins Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selene, born in 40 BCE, and would go on to fight against Octavian, later known as Augustus, in the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE, which she lost, leading to her eventual suicide in 30 BCE, reportedly by allowing a poisonous asp to bite her. As you consider the twists and turns of Cleopatra's life, ask yourself, what do you think was the decisive factor in her ultimate defeat? The Roman writers who chronicled Cleopatra's life, including Plutarch and Cassius Dio, deliberately portrayed her as a seductress and a manipulator, in an effort to justify the Roman conquest of Egypt and undermine her legacy, as seen in the works of the Roman poet Horace, who wrote that Cleopatra was a fatale monstrum, a deadly monster, in his Ode 1.37, written around 30 BCE. As a result, Cleopatra's achievements as a leader and a diplomat were largely forgotten, until the discovery of new archaeological evidence and the re-evaluation of ancient sources, which have revealed a more nuanced and complex figure, who was a product of her time and place, but also a woman of remarkable intelligence and cunning. What do you think is the most significant consequence of this rewriting of history, and how has it impacted our understanding of the ancient world? As you reflect on the life and legacy of Cleopatra VII, consider the fact that her story has been retold and reinterpreted countless times, in works of art and literature, from Shakespeare's Antony and Cleopatra to the films of Hollywood, and yet, despite all of this attention, the real Cleopatra remains somewhat of an enigma, a figure of fascination and mystery, who continues to captivate us with her intelligence, her courage, and her unwavering determination, and you must ask yourself, what is it about this woman, who lived over 2,000 years ago, that continues to inspire and intrigue us today?